So what is the city's role in providing recreation services for children, families, and seniors?
The city clearly has a responsibility to recreational facilities, and over the past couple of years, as most of you know, we've made some serious cuts to our recreational facilities as we've prioritized things in the city, services we consider essential, like police and fire. We have those things that are probably lower in priority have taken the biggest hit, including our libraries and our recreational facilities. And unfortunately, we're not taking so much of a proactive approach to kids, because idle hands can be the devil's workshop, and as kids grow up without these facilities, sometimes they can get into all sorts of mischief. And so we need to do the best we can, probably by expanding our tax base rather than our taxes, so that we can restore some of the services, and I think that's our goal.
This has been a key issue, and I've been door knocking this summer and into this fall now. I've educated a lot of people, and people have educated me on the fact that if you invest into your park and recs, and especially your kids, that it pays dividends. They say for every buck you put into a park and rec program is $5 that you save on the county juvie court system. So with that being said, yes, I think it's time that we move on, and I'm going to be a strong voice if I get in there to get back with the park and rec program.
Well, it's nice to have parks that are that are kept up, as well as recreational facilities and whatnot. But it's nicer to have police protection, fire protection. So I think city government needs to prioritize spending, spend the money where it's needed. Also, in regards to parks and recs, I think it would be nice to have more community involvement into upkeep of the parks, rather than looking towards city government. Put the money where it's needed. Thanks.
Well, whereas I see that we definitely need some improvement in our parks and our services, definitely. I have to say, as a rather newcomer to Duluth and raising a family here, I still believe that this is a wonderful place to raise our family, and there's lots of resources out there. And I don't know if you noticed in the paper today that survey that came out about residents in Duluth. I think they surveyed about 200 or 400 people, and 90% of them are worried about our economy. And I believe that our city government needs to do a better job of being leaders to grow our business base, create those opportunities for our families so that we can raise good kids in this community. And by growing that base, we're also growing the tax base, and we can keep our senior services open and strong, and our libraries open, and do a better job of taking good care of our parks. But first and foremost, the city government needs to make sure that we're protected by our police, and we've got good infrastructure, and we're creating opportunities for our families to raise their kids here.
One of the primary reasons that we're losing money, over the last several years is because we're losing our local government aid from the state. And what we need to, as a city council, but also as a city, is we need to do a better job of lobbying the state to let them know how important local government aid is to us. Because at the rate we're losing local government aid, we're going to continue to lose these services, and it's not going to be easy at all for us to recapture those. So we really need to show the state how important these services are, because that's really the only way we're going to get these things back. And this is a priority in the community. As we door knock throughout the city, we hear about Parks and Rec and how people want these things, how they want their library hours back. We got to bring this message down to the state so we can give the money, so we can start to get the money back that we've lost in the last 6 years.
Absolutely. I believe that our senior and our youth services are a priority for city government, and it is our role to provide those services. And as there have been cutbacks, I think that as long as those cutbacks lead to creative problem solving and thinking outside the box and figuring out ways that we can bring those services back, we can all live with tightening our belts for a little while. But if that means that that's a reason for people to move those services on to private business, I think that then we really need to make sure that the priority of our city council remains that these things are a responsibility of our government so that they can be provided for all people in our community, not just some people, but all people. Oh, I got the 15-second mark. I have a lot to say about this, actually. So I think it's a huge priority. I'm really up to tackling the problem. I want to make that one of the things that I work on the city council.